Hi, I wanted to address the week 3 assignment one. And so let's go to the Khan Academy here and let's check this out here. Okay, so remember what an ellipse is? Ellipsis is a stretched out circle, okay? And so right here, it says, write an equation of an ellipse centered at the origin with the foci of 0 plus or minus 2 and the vertices at 0 plus or minus square root of 15. Okay, so let's kind of, first of all, let's talk about the equation of an ellipse. So it's x minus h squared over a squared plus y minus k squared over b squared is equal to 1. Okay, and remember the h and k is the center, and since the center is at the origin, they're both going to be 0. So we could just focus on the x squared over the a squared plus the y squared over the b squared equals 1. Okay? All right, so we could focus on that. And what we have to do is we have to fill in the a and the b. All right? Well, first of all, let's look at some of the clues that we have here. Okay, so what's the foci or foci? And what are the vertices? Okay, so the vertices and the foci tell us a few things here. All right. Oh, by the way, it could also be x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared is equal to 1. And the reason why that's kind of important is because of the major axis and the minor axis. The major axis goes with the a, and the minor axis goes with the b. Okay, so we'll determine that based on where the foci is and where the vertices are. So here's an xy axis right here. Okay, and if we graph this right here, 0 plus or minus 2, here is 0, here's the f1, right, the foci 1, and here is the foci 2. Okay, square 0 plus or minus radical 15. Radical 15 is really close to radical 16, right? And radical 16 is 4. So radical 15 is right below 4. So here's 4. And I'm going to put it like right here. Okay, I'm going to put that a different color just so that we could kind of find a difference between those two. And so this is 3 and 4. And so this will be vertex 1 and vertex 2. Okay. So based on this problem right here, since the foci are on the y-axis here, and the major vertices is right here is also on the y-axis, we know that we're going to use this equation right here. Okay, we know that the a squared is going to go with the y squared. Okay, so the y is the major axis. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to find what the b is. And how do we find what the b is? Well, we have to base it on the foci and the vertices. So in an ellipse, I believe, give me a second here. Let me double check here. Ellipse foci formula. In an ellipse, it's c squared is equal to a squared minus b squared. Okay. And how do we know what a, b, and c are? Well, c is, so remember, c is always the distance between the center and the focus. Okay, so c is equal to 2 in this case, right? It's the distance from the center to the focus. Okay, the a is the distance from the center to the major vertices, one of the major vertices. So in this case here, we know that it's radical 15. And then b is the distance from the center to the co-vertices. The co-vertices are the vertices on the minor axis. Okay, and that's what we don't know yet. We don't know this. So we're going to work backwards using this formula to find what the b is. Okay, and so this is 2 squared is equal to the radical 15 squared minus b squared. This is 4 equals 15, right? Minus b squared. You subtract the 15 to both sides. And so negative b squared is equal to negative 11. You divide this by -1, and so b squared is equal to 11. And so b is equal to radical 11. So radical 11 is, see, radical 9 is 3, and radical 16 is 4. So it's kind of close to 3. So what we're going to do is, again, the b represents the distance from the center to the co-vertices. So in this case, the minor axis is on the x. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3. It's going to be a little bit past the 3 right here. And the 1, 2, 3. And so here's 4. So it's going to be like right here. So the ellipse is going to look something like this. Sorry for my drawing. It's the best I could do considering. Okay, so it's going to look, yeah, again, this egg. This is awful, but yeah, you get the point. Okay, so now what is the b squared here? So it's 11, okay, because if you square, b squared is equal to 11, so you're going to put the 11 right here. So the final answer is x squared over 11 plus y squared over 15 is equal to 1. Okay, so if we plug this in here, let me clear this. So it would be x squared, so x squared over 11 plus y squared, y squared over 15 equals 1. And that's what it is. Okay. So hopefully that will help you understand the next problem. So I'll just give you a little bit of this problem. Okay, remember the foci is at 0 plus or minus 3, and the co-vertices, notice that this is the minor. So this, again, this is the same thing as the last problem instead, but they give you the co-vertices, and the co-vertices, notice, is on the x-axis. So in this case, since the foci are on the y-axis, the major axis is going to be, it's going to be an ellipse that goes, it's kind of more vertical, right? Okay, and so once you let's graph this a little bit, and then hopefully you will be able to get this. So here is the y-axis, here is the x-axis, and here is 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and so this is the focus, right? And then let's color the co-vertices blue, so it'll be 1, 2, and 1, 2. And remember, since the major axis is the y, we're going to use the following formula: x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared is equal to 1. Okay, we have the b, right, of 2. So the x squared over 4 is equal to y, plus, let me erase that, plus y squared over a squared is equal to 1. Okay, so remember that it was c squared is equal to a squared minus b squared with the formula. Okay, and remember for the hyperbola, it's going to be a little bit different. I think the hyperbola is pretty much the Pythagorean theorem, but we'll get, I think you should just look that up. It's the foci formula, all right? So the c is the distance, remember, from the center to the focal point, so that is 3. So it'll be 3 squared is equal to, we don't know what the a squared is, but we do know what the b is from the center to the co-vertices, so that's 2 squared, right? And so 9 is equal to a squared minus 4, right? And then, so you add the 4 to both sides, and so so 13 is equal to a squared, and a is equal to radical 13. So remember that radical 13 is in between radical 9 and radical 16. So it's pretty much in between, like a 3.5. So I would put it like right here. Okay, and 3.5 would be like right here. And this would be your ellipse. It kind of looks like a football. Okay. All right. And so if you want the final equation, it's x squared over 4 plus y squared over 13 is equal to 1. All right. So hang in there with that, but let me know if you have any more questions. All right. Thanks. Bye.